Welcome, welcome. Now I'm in your state, Don,
Yeah,
Colorado.
we're almost 300 miles closer than we were. 300 miles, 3 hours away, which is a lot closer than Miami. So inching our way together eventually. This has been, hope everybody had a wonderful 4th of July. Hope everybody starts out the 5th of July with a whole new independent way of trying to get more independent as time goes on. And really what I'm so proud of and excited by is the LinkTank membership program that we launched last week. And it's already getting membership and involvement and value. So really want to focus, and that's one reason we have a membership group, is an offshoot of our LinkTank Tuesday and Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern time, broadcast with me and Mike, but it only lasts 20 minutes. So we decided to expand it based on the interest. And really the key that we want to share with you is not just membership, but group benefit, right? And the benefits that, we provide is collective knowledge share, more people learning together faster, really a focus on how to generate revenue, sales, which is usually something that most people never get to. And the other thing is really the ability to be supported, really to get the right context, get people who have done it, been up and down the hill a couple times, and can kind of share some shortcuts and ways to look at things. And I think, that's so vital for what LinkedIn is trying to do. And in addition, what we're trying to do with LinkedIn and for people on LinkedIn to really give them a head start and show them dramatic results early on, which is usually rare to find. So Mike, you're looking good. How was your 4th of July?
Oh, my 4th of July, if you're on my mailing list, you will know I got to count how many words that email I wrote was. It was probably one of my longest ever. And it was really embracing the spirit of 4th of July and, like Don said, our independence. But I had a personal incident happen, which was something I wasn't proud of. I ended up getting very aggravated at an Uber driver that basically decided that we had too many bags and he didn't want to take us to the airport, no less. We didn't have time to spare, or didn't even have, in Miami, there's not that many Ubers. It's not like New York City. So we don't have to wait, and hopefully in 10 minutes an Uber comes. So we made it. We had to drive our car and put it in the short-term parking. It was very stressful. A 4-year-old at 6 o'clock in the morning crying. And anyway, so that was the one aspect of it. But then when things come up, you look for the lesson. Mm-hmm. And, I get angry at someone and, yelled at them and blah, 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 blah. But the lesson I learned was impactful. And when we got to talk about it on the plane with the little guy, my wife, and inspired me to write a very long email. So if you want to see the email, message me and I'll send it out to you. And then I didn't tell you this part. We landed in Denver, and then we got on the small plane from Denver to Steamboat, which is usually in the summertime, no problem at all. And it was so bumpy. My wife does not do well, so she had a puke bag handy. The little guy was passed out because we had been up since, I think we got up at 4:30 in the morning. And I was like, one eye open, one eye asleep, and just bouncing around. I don't mind it so much. A couple of them were pretty scary. But then we started to come down to land, and we got like 100 yards from the runway, from, altitude-wise. And he goes and jets the engines back up like this. Back up to the sky. And here's a lesson. The airline industry suck because if something bad happens, you have 100 or 200 people behind you. They just want some information. Not giving them any information is the worst thing you can do. And I find that they always take that route first. And then maybe because pilots are, they're fixed with their hands on the wheel and they're not like communicators. But that should be part of pilot school if you're going to work for an airlines, that you must communicate if things out of the ordinary happen, so people can get some comfort in that, because people want to know data.
Mm-hmm.
And so it wasn't until after we went up to, like, I don't know, 10 or 15,000 feet, circled all the way back around by Steamboat, which is totally east. And I saw Steamboat, the mountain, and I'm like, what the hell? And then we started coming back towards the airport. Then he gets on and says, well, as you know, it's very choppy and very windy, and we were coming down to make a landing, and there was a big gust of wind, so we did a loop around, and we're going to give it another shot. So, well, it's so hard to say that, 30 seconds after it happens. It wasn't like we did a loop around. He used like baby language. He made it comical. We did a loop around. But 30 seconds after, you could have said, sorry, everyone, we were going to land. It was windy, and we're doing a loop around.
Yeah, I think that's a great lesson, because no matter what industry you're talking about, without having quality communication and people skills, you leave a lot on the table. It could be the medical profession, be the legal profession, you name whatever profession. There's people who are experts at what their specialty is, but not experts with packaging, presenting it, supporting it, and so I think if you take that to LinkedIn, what we're doing, there's a lot of people who know LinkedIn but don't know this. There's a lot of people who know LinkedIn and don't know how to build relationships. There's a lot of people who know LinkedIn and aren't honorable. You walk down the list, and what you find is knowing LinkedIn is the secondary value you're looking for. You're looking for who you can with, who you can trust, and who you can build with. Right? This is too big of a mountain for someone to say, it's not, I don't want to include anybody, I want to keep it to myself. Here's a secret. It's not yours. It never was. You're just renting space, and more likely renting time. And I think that's what breaks it down to, what are you going to do with your time? I wish told me this when I first got started. Explain me in context. Here's what you can get by doing this, and here's what you're going to get by doing what you're doing. Right? So not only
and also, and don't do this. Like, don't waste your time doing this, because it's not going to, provide any value to you or anyone on the platform of LinkedIn. And, I often find it's just as important to know what not to do than what to do.
Well, everything is time. If you do something you're not supposed to do, you're going to have to do something that you're supposed to do. And a lot of times, whatever you do that you shouldn't do becomes a habit, right? And pretty soon you start replicating a bad habit by trying to do it better, right? If you got a crooked something, no matter how much you straighten, it's never going to be right. Where if you start out right, and the thing is, it's not about taking anybody's advice. It's listening to people's advice and get up with what you know now, and ask yourself, did you get a better combination? And unless someone's whole goal is to say no, cynic, be a skeptic, question everything, and there's no game. The game plays while you're questioning. You should be doing. I was thinking about the Nike logo, or the message, which was so cool, which is do it. Right? And the 3 words, the whole mission. I would like to add, just do it now. Right? Or you just do it. Add you to the front, add now to the back. And
you
then
just do it now. Yeah. I love it, Don.
Yeah. I mean, and it's Nike. There's nothing to question. You add a little twist to it, and you put yourself into it. Right? Yeah. And based on that, it's like, what do I do then? Right? That's the next question. If I got to do it, I got to do it now. What do I do? That's the missing link, right?
Yes.
Don't figure out what you got to do. Ask somebody who's doing
I
it.
like that. Don, you're good today. You're good. That's the missing link. That's the missing link.
Right. And what do I do? First, you got to accept that you're going to do it, right? Without that, you don't have to get the next question. The next thing, tell me what I got to do. And let me do it. Go ahead, Mike.
So here's what we wanted to do today, Don, right? Because our promise on LinkTank, which is the LinkTank show, is that you get one actionable item that you can take away and do. You just do it now. I like that, Don. So when Don and I are planning this, we want to step in and live into that promise. And our conversation today was we wanted to give you something to focus on, to do, just do it now, between now and Friday's show. And that was picking 3 people in your network that would become a good relationship, a good partner, maybe even a good client, and basically take some of the strategies that we've spoken about and reach out to them and create a communication. We always are talking about action takers. When you go to the link below, the link that's right below my chin, and you go, it's going to take you to a sales page, and you see we've got an outrageous deal for action takers. Because really, Gary Vaynerchuk said it the best: I can give away my best stuff, but 98% of the people will do nothing with it. And Don and I, we're working with people that, are amazing folks. We're only working with the people that took action, because all the ones that didn't take action, they're not, part of our client group. LinkTank, this is an opportunity, as Don said, to take it further once a week for an hour, deep dive, plus $10,000 with additional trainings. And you're going to learn what to do, what not to do. But the only people we're going to see in there are action takers. Now, that's because you went there and you're like, oh, that's for me. And even if you don't even know it's for you, we're giving you a money back guarantee. So there's no reason not to come in to see if it's for you. And the same way right now, we're going to give you the opportunity to pick 3 people. Don't make it your 3 most prized people, because that's going to give you even more agita. Pick just 3 ideal customers. There's millions of them on LinkedIn. And then we're saying, okay, reach out to them, say hi, give them something, and then connect with them. Don?
Yeah, no, I think that's perfect. Whatever you do, have a plan, take action on the plan, give it enough time and enough thought and effort to be successful. And here's the cool thing that I just thought of as Mike was speaking, is as you're looking out to reach out to 3, 4, whatever it is that you have, that you say, hey, we would be doing better together if we shared more, right? And whatever that is, it could be a more frequent Zoom, it could be a trade-off, it could be referrals, whatever it is, but it's like, hey, I knew you helped me type of. In essence, if you can't find 3 or 4 people that you can expand your collaboration with, LinkTank's for you. We already got the 3 to 5 people. Hook in, and what Mike did mention, it's $47 a month, 4 hours a month with me and Mike together every week, $10,000, and the value is really determined by what you get out of it. It could be worth $1 million to the right person, right? So, and it could be worth nothing to someone who never accesses it, but that's the key. All you got to do is say to yourself, do I want to turn on, right? Do I want to turn my on? Do I want to plug into a group that'll give me immediate networking and knowledge sharing? Do you want me to do something that one day is going to be huge and you could say I was at the end of it, right? Ask yourself, if you're $47 a month, guaranteed, and it didn't work out, would be the end of the world? But ask yourself, if you spend $47 and it changed your life forever, would you ever look back and say, boy, that was something I shouldn't have done? And, I think that's the key, is whether you do it our way with us or not, LinkedIn is still a mountain to climb, right? You're climbing it now, or you're not climbing it now, which is even worse. And if you say to yourself, hey, maybe I'm smarter than everybody thinks I am, I'll just borrow a couple months of Mike and Don. Once I get all their secrets, I don't have to pay the 47 anymore, if that's one goal, But I think what me and Mike have said, and I'm being a little facetious, is the people we truly attract are typically very professional, very success-driven, experienced, and that's what makes the group so exciting and so much fun. Is there's so many people like the people listening right now, and the people will be listening in the future to what we're talking about. It's a faster route, and it's a more fun route, right? It's a long, lonely game. So anyways, the takeaway today is see if you can build a little bit of a community and collaborate with what you've already built since on LinkedIn. Some people a week ago, some people have been on for 10 years. And if you go out and you can't find 3 or 4 people after all this time who would have an interest in doing more with you, then you just took a pulse of what you got or what you built. And it is what it is, right? I don't even know. I hope it's the best thing ever. But if you find that you put all this time and effort and people still won't have a Zoom call with you, or people won't want to do something with you, I think you've been fishing in the wrong water, but you gained a lot of rejection. You gained a lot of experience, and you could take that with you because now you have context. And the other thing is, I don't think people are excited about getting too into LinkedIn. I think most people want to build a business, right, and use LinkedIn to do it. So once they can get that bridge where they're getting lead generate, right, where they're getting a lot of interest, a lot of activity. I mean, when we're talking activity, me and Mike both have 4 million views on our individual posts and this is with helping everybody else with their business, right? Let's think Mike got almost hundreds of millions of views helping other people.
Don, we just crossed 250 million views for our customers. Yeah, so that's the takeaway. Now I'm going to leave you with one easy way to do it. So we're going to take the next step. We got the idea. Don and I are saying just do 3, but I'm going to give you the shortcut. Is basically foolproof. You should get a plus 50% acceptance to your cold outreach if you follow what I'm saying. So step 1 is go onto your LinkedIn profile and go down to your profile page and go to who viewed me. And it's going to give you a list of the people that viewed you, and find 3 that are not your first connection. Find 3 that are ideal customers and just open the first one and go to their profile page, and then go to the button that says connect, and then mandatory, when you say connect, say add a note, and you can say something like this: hi, Barbara, thank you for looking at my LinkedIn profile, and I hope you find my content valuable for you either personally or for work. So not too tough to do. You're acknowledging that they checked you out. They're checking you out for a reason. If you think about it, how many LinkedIn profiles do you check out every day? Not very many. So if someone's doing it for you, they have a desire or an interest. So that would be the first part of the paragraph. And then you just segue into, notice that you're helping, thought leaders publish books. Notice that you're the sales manager at, an extraordinary company. Notice that you're, one of the partners at XYZ law firm. Notice that, you're, one of the top salespeople at XYZ firm. So you're just then sort of connecting in with them. And you finally say, it would be great to have you in my network. And, perhaps we can, I say, create some magic together. It would be great to have you in my network. And perhaps we can, jump on a Zoom sometime in the future. That's not salesy at all. It's super easy to follow. You should track your results, which is Don and I always talk about. I'm just giving you a shortcut of where to go. You don't have to think about Sales Navigator or anything else. You just go back and find 3 people that checked you out that are ideal customers. And then do something like that. Put it in your own words. But that's as simple as it gets. But we'll see. Right? Because now it's learn and then do. So John and I just shared, okay, we have an activity for you. This is a muscle that you want to keep repeating. Then I gave you a way to do it. But once again, we get back to the conversation of who's going to do. So,
that is so valuable, because here's what the takeaway I had is, first of all, personalizing anything to people who just put in a let's connect, right? Don't put a message in. Second of all, look at people who looked at you. It's so smart, because lesson learned is not just a lesson taught here, but the way it was answered. In other words, if a novice or person learning or wanting to learn more came to Mike and said, connect with 3 people this week and do this, he just gave you the whole rundown. Right? A person on themselves would never have that information. He spent more time getting more frustrated, taking longer, and everything you could ask on LinkedIn, you had experience with. Right? I don't think there's anybody who could stump us together who said, I want to do this. What's the shortcut, Mike? Right?
And it's even better, Don. It's even better because we don't have all the answers, and that's the power of the community, because a lot of the things that are our secret sauce have been sourced from conversations with, like you like to say, like in the Done For You program right now, I think we've got close to 70 people. So it's us doing that and 70 people doing that. It's like it's the power, to the exponential power of all of the data. And then we're having weekly meetings. What's working, what's not. It's challenging. Oh, that was a win. Let's reverse engineer. And that was really clever. There's literally a million ways to do things on LinkedIn. And someone can have a spark of imagination and do something that's clever, and it works. And then it's about coming up with a system to systemize that cleverness. And then all of a sudden, you've got another thing to do. That's why you want to be in a group. That's why you want to be in a community, because it's the collective that is going to win with LinkedIn. It's changing every day. New functions, new features, new reports, changing this, changing that, changing everything.
Well,
right?
I think where responsibility starts to move now is, what's your question? Not can we have answer, right? So if someone can come up with, hey, what do I really need to know now, or what's the most learn, or whatever it is, that's primary to coming to us. Like says, there's a million things you could do, times a million different ways. So the more specific you can get, say, I just want to know this, then it's easy for us to say, well, then you just do this with a variation if you want of that, right? It's the recipe. Someone says, I want to make a banana cake. Great. Here's the recipe. I made 100 of them. They taste great. Make it now, right? So I'm saying, and that's the dynamic we're trying to instigate in this group. This is not a pick up and drop off like laundry, right? This is interactive. And another thing is, what I'm learning is as people join the group, they start finding other people besides us to go to in the group, right? And we put that, right? We learn, and the whole thing, everybody learns together. And the other question is, again, who do you want to spend time with? Who do you want to learn from? And, you know, in most cases, because people know each other, don't trust each other, risk and fear always come into play. And so me and Mike say, there is no risk. There shouldn't be any fear, right? It's $47 with your money back. It's on us. And the last thing I want is an unhappy person paying $47 a month, struggling through life, right? So the sooner one moves to where they need to be, but more importantly, the stories we can tell, right? You don't have to join now. You could watch. You could see the other people coming into it. But, you know, it's attention everybody's going to get early on. If it's an hour a week and 4 people show up, right? 15 minutes a person every week. You know what the learning curve could go to in something like that? And, you know, we're pretty good at what we do. We get better when we do it together. And then when we have a program to come up with, we challenge ourselves even to be better for it, right? Because this stuff is going to last forever. All these trainings, all these other things. Anyways, I'm excited because 810 million people, you know, as me and Mike have been doing a lot of playing around with Sales Navigator and filtering and stuff like that. And what I realized, if there's 810 million people, and me and Mike usually divide it up, let's say CEOs, you know, there's only, and it sounds small, big, 9 million CEOs on LinkedIn. But in context, out of 800 million. So in other words, you could have no interest or the 99% of the people who are CEOs, but have 100% of 9 million people who are. And that would be the best relevancy you can get. So you know, everything is context. And Owen is important, doing is fundamental, enjoying and celebrating. And that's another thing, you win on your own. How much fun is it when you clap with one hand, right? Not much, you know? So,
I think that's a good way to end it, Don. That's perfect.
yeah, for sure. I'm like laughing, you know? It makes learning more fun. Anyway, I think we really delivered the whole schmear today. And challenge ourselves to be better and challenge everybody to challenge us to be better. So I said, happy to see everybody on Friday. Do we talked about it. If you can, please, for yourself. Don't even feel ashamed of it. Just get the results, help yourself, and eventually maybe you'll come around. But anyways, I think it was a great tip. Mike, why don't you give it the close?
Yeah, I mean, the close is, you know, share LinkTank with your friends. If this is not for you now, then share it with someone that is. And we invite you over the next 3 days to tell us, oh, I sent this message, but I didn't get a reply. But send it to Don and I, and we'll look at it. We're like, oh, yeah, because that word repelled them. So we'll just let you know. That's what we're doing all day long. So thank you so much. We appreciate your viewership, joining us on LinkTank. For everyone that's going to watch on the replay, which is like 10x the people that are watching. No, 1,000x that you're watching live. We appreciate you too. Have an amazing week, and we'll see you Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Don, over and out.
Over and out.